Champions here in Lillehammer. Thank you very much to our host for setting up a very nice venue for this, and welcome to the defending overall champions, Sarah Hendrickson and Anders Bardal. Thank you for taking the time to be here tonight. And I'd also like to welcome our FIS race directors Walter Hofer and Shika Yoshida. We'll be taking, I have prepared some questions. I'd love to have some questions come from the audience, so don't hesitate, feel free to ask what you have on your mind. And the purpose of this evening's session is obviously to have the defending champions tell us a little bit about how they're feeling at the start of the new season. And then we'll review some of the updates from the side of FIS. My name is Rika Rakic, I'm the FIS Communications Manager. And I'd like to take this opportunity also introduce my colleagues from ski jumping. Marielle Stockinger, she will be the new media coordinator for ladies ski jumping. Will be joining the ladies all season long. So Marielle will be your first point of contact. How are you doing at the start of this season? I think you were just recovering from an operation in the spring. Are you ready for the season?
Yeah, I had a surgery in April of this year, and I had decided to do that. I was diagnosed with injury last fall, but I didn't want to jeopardize my winter season last year, so I decided to hold that off until spring, and I got that operation done. And so most of my summer consisted of rehabbing from that, and I actually didn't start jumping until September. So I haven't had, as many training jumps as some of the other girls, but I jumped on snow. We jumped in Park City last week, so I feel, pretty prepared for the competition this weekend and ready for the season to begin.
Now, you postponed your surgery, but one couldn't have told that based on your results. That was a pretty impressive domination last season. How did you, you must have felt super motivated for this season, or do you find it'll be very difficult to defend your title?
It would definitely be really difficult to defend this title. I jumped well, obviously, last winter and technically, and I enjoyed every single competition, so I just have to remember to show up to the hill every day with a positive attitude and remember why I love the sport so much, and hopefully the technique and the results will come with that.
Now, you just mentioned that you haven't had so much time on the hill yet. The season will start also with some with new technical requirements on you, especially on the equipment side, referring to the suits. Has that made you nervous, or are you feel you've adjusted really well to that new equipment?
I feel like I've adjusted really well. When I started jumping in September, I started jumping with the 0 centimeter suit, so I didn't feel that much of a difference, and everybody has to deal with it, so I'm adjusting well, and we'll see what happens.
Now, do you think there are some athletes that may have an advantage from the equipment change, or who do you see will be the biggest competitors of yourself?
I think everybody has to deal with it just the same. So we just have to take it how it is. Everybody is dealing with it, so just jump normally and it'll all work out.
Now, ski jumping is not traditionally a very big sport in the US. Now, you, in your role as the first overall World Cup champion in ladies ski jumping, what kind of role do you see playing for ski jumping in your country?
Yeah, ski jumping is not popular in the US at all, male or female. So after this last winter, I had a few interviews with some of the bigger magazines and stuff like that, and I think a lot of people are hearing about our story about women's ski jumping and getting into the Olympics, and the popularity is definitely rising. And looking forward to Sochi, I think people are going to start recognizing ski jumping more and more, and I could see it becoming, very popular in the next years.
Now, I see you sporting a new logo on your hat. Is that a sign, perhaps, of that popularity?
Yeah, I just signed with Red Bull, and I'm very excited about that. And hopefully that will bring, some popularity to the sport in the U.S. Since it's so big there.
Any questions for Sarah? Not yet, so you can think of, oh, perfect.
You just graduated from high school. Have you been, do you think it will make some sort of an impression on how you take ski jumping now, and do you feel any difference? What does it change for you?
Yeah, I went to a sports school actually for the past 2 years where we went to school from April to November, so we would have the winter off to compete. So last winter I actually didn't have to deal with school. I was still in school, but I didn't have schoolwork to work on. But now that I'm finally done, it's nice to have that off my shoulders, and it's another thing that I don't have to think about when I'm competing.
Any more questions? Sarah?
Do you feel any different, like among your colleagues, friends? Do you feel like this popularity, this big success changed it for you?
As far as like people like recognizing me and stuff, and not really, which I don't mind, but in the years to come, that might change.
And what are your goals in view of the World Skiing Championships? Do you think that even in view of your recent surgery and everything, do you think your form will be enough to be among the top contenders and just being best of the best?
Yeah, looking forward to the World Championships this year in Italy. I haven't done well in the championships in the past, so it's definitely a goal for me to do well there. I think, I don't know, once we get closer, I think I'll be able to tell more and set my goals more set in stone, but at this point, I'm really aiming for a medal.
It's the second season for the Ladies World Cup. How do you approach the season after the preliminary season last year? Are you feeling confident?
Yes, so we, the introduction of the World Cup Ladies was really successful last year. And for instance, this year already we have much more competitions. Last year we had a 13 World Cups competition. And this year already we have 17 on the calendar, so that's more and more our sports coming up.
Now this is also going to be a building season towards the third edition of the World Championships for the ladies, but also with respect to the Olympic debut. You will be going to Sochi in just a couple of weeks. How do you see the Sochi Olympic Games impacting or helping you along in terms of establishing the ladies ski jumping, and also are you feeling confident about Sochi?
You mean the General Olympic Games, yeah? Yes. Okay, yeah, of course, this is a real biggest step for us since last per year. And of course, the ladies ski jumping is at the moment still some kind of European sport, and if we have an Olympic Games, so that will be a worldwide, especially for the ladies, and that will be a really premier for ladies ski jumping.
Now we also will have a premiere here in Lillehammer in the World Cup. There'll be the mixed event for ladies and men teams. So that's just tomorrow already. What's the importance of that event and the introduction to World Cup in your view?
Yeah, mixed event is of course really important for the ladies, but because we as a ladies ski jumping, we will get the excellent stage for the athlete, that athlete can show up their performance, but not just for the ladies. I think generally for our ski jumping, because there are many teams who are not compete in the team event, but if you have ladies and men, we cannot accept who can win, and that's really exciting, amazing competition. And also one team with a mixed team, and we will get also possibility to get 2 medals, for instance, in the World Championship. And this is also a great step for the ladies ski jumping.
Yeah, there we go. we'll work on the microphone. Yes, I think I remember, I don't know if you were following the summer test of the mixed event. There were some really wonderful photos of the Japanese team. Your, let's say, a national home team celebrating with a 42-year-old as the oldest member of the team and a 15-year-old as the youngest, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No,
He's 40, sorry. Anyway, any questions for Chica? For ladies ski jumping? By the way, everyone will stay here a little bit afterwards, so you have the chance for interviews on an individual basis. So I think we'll move on to Anders. I'm gonna hope that the microphone will work. So I'm gonna give this to you.
This one is working.
Now the test. Oh, look at that. So Anders, here we are. We're starting a new season in your home country, and you are the defending champion as the only third Norwegian overall champion, I believe. Norway is a sport-crazy country. How crazy has it been for you after your win?
It has not been crazy at all. So I'm able to still live my life as normal, and bit attention, but not much, not bad.
So your life didn't change at all since March?
If the life has changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because I got another child.
So your family commitments, have they kept you from training, or you feel you were also in position to defend your title?
I'm not speaking about defending the title. I'm well prepared, better prepared than ever is my feeling. The jumping this summer has been good. I'm also prepared well physics, and yeah, I have a good feeling, but let's see when it starts.
Now, have you changed anything in your training in terms of with you on the new equipment, especially the suit? Has that had an impact on how you prepared yourself, or are you planning on the same technique and approach?
Still the same things are working. It's all about giving most pressure down in the table. That counts. So maybe the best flyers will feel that the suits are now a bit smaller, but for me, we started this summer with cross-country suits, and then when we finally got back the ski jumping suits, that was flying good.
Now you said you're not about to, or your focus is not on defending your title. Have you set yourself any goals for this season then?
Yeah, there is 3 big happenings this season. It's the 4 Hills tournament, and it's the World Championship in Lillehammer, and it's the World Cup overall. And my goal is to fight in the top in all those. So then you have to be good the whole season.
So I think you were the Mr. Consistency last season. You were top 10 will make you happy, or you want a medal?
Good question. Of course, I want to know.
Very good. Any questions for Anders? They're all waiting to get you on your own, so I think we'll move on to Walter. So, Walter, another season. It's your season number 21. So we're talking about the veteran here. So you have seen the sport of ski jumping develop through a number of different phases, let's say. I think you mentioned recently that you see the phase currently is moving back towards more athleticism, away from the importance of the equipment. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
First of all, let me welcome you warmly to the new season opening. Yes, of course, whenever we have done anything with regard to the equipment, the overall goal was always to have a kind of consistency in our decision-making process. Over the years, you know, the athletes are very innovative. They train a lot, they find a lot, and they are very innovative in a way that they improve their performance year by year. But we can't rebuild all the hills every year, and that's why we try to go the reverse way. We try to cut them a bit every year in their, especially the aerodynamic performance. So the overall goal is to keep the balance between athletic portion and aerodynamic efficiency between 50-50 more or less. And this way another way the athletes try to improve themselves, and here we try to keep them on the very much the same performance year by year. And this year, first of all, we have made a change for the equipment, where the goal was firstly not the change of the athletes' performance, but to reduce the workload for our athletes, for the service personnel, and of course our officials, because the jumping suit, which was former a sporty suit, has turned into a high technical equipment, and here the test phase and the control phase took a tremendous effort for all of us. Here we wanted to make it a bit easier. That's why we made the suit body fitting, but that also has had an impact to the athlete's performance, and even more we expected actually, because the new feeling for the athlete was not only the reduction of the aerodynamic efficiency, but also that they feel a bit more the balance between ski and suit in a different way, and that's why they have to adjust to this new equipment a bit longer than normally. Simon Amon, for example, he told us that he needed almost 100 jumps to adjust to this new situation, so it has had an impact. And as a matter of fact, the athletic portion, that means the take-off forces, seems to be a bit more important now. So the flight curve will be a bit more parabolic. That also means that at the end of the landing phase, athletes speed up and the landing pressure is a bit higher. So this is more or less the overall impact. And now we would like to see how it works in practice.
The summer is always a laboratory, right? The testing time. So a lot of testing has been done on the suits by the athletes especially. You also did quite a bit of testing on this thing, the wind, and managing the wind. What happened with that?
You want to know the weather forecast for tomorrow?
If everyone here in the group would like to.
Yes, of course. We would like to provide conditions for our athletes as good as possible for everyone, which is fairly difficult. But with all our installations and equipment, we try to provide conditions which are at least safe. And of course, athletes know that they have to live with what they get. And we just try to provide whatever we can, that they are able to find out their own performance, to find out the best athlete. So year by year, we slightly modify our equipment, so it's not so that we have to announce it into public, that we say we use now 7 devices instead of 5. I mean, this is a normal development. And but we are on a very good way, so we never had to take something back. This is a good sign. And again, here we need a bit more experience in the upcoming season in order to get the feedback whether we are on the right way or not.
So beyond the suit changes and wind, the third topic that I see coming back is this thing called the red button. What is that?
Here we are in the right place, because in '82 it was actually the last year without me. I started in '82 then. In '82 the World Championships took place here in Oslo, and from that time on we had in our regulation that there is no communication allowed between coaches and athletes on the in Run Tower. And this year we ask ourselves why. Why should we keep that? And this is what we want to change. We would like to provide more communication systems for both athletes and coaches. That means that the coaches will have a communication device on their coaches platform where they can get in contact with their athletes upon the start and with the jury in the judges tower, so that this TD assistant, who always was the slot to deliver their meanings and opinions, is a bit wider, on a wider scale. And with this system, we also would like to include the coaches a bit more into the decision-making process. That means whenever they have the feeling that the in-run speed for their respective athlete is a bit too high, they are able to give the order to the jury that they want to reduce the in-run speed for their own athletes. This was possible in the past as well, but this year is the first time where they get the benefit through our compensation system.
So clearly we can expect a very exciting season, lots of new things. But I think the basis of the sport of ski jumping, it's still very solid. You're looking forward to a very successful season. We have Lillehammer coming, and beyond that, the games.
Athletes have tried different ways, but we still jump from up to down.
Very nice. Any questions for Walter?
I have a question. Many coaches keep saying that with the suit changes, the influence of the wind increases. Why do you think it is that? Why do coaches think that?
For me, I don't want to interpret the coach's meaning, but I have an explanation for it. Physically, of course, when you create a more parabolic curve, it's obviously that the range of distance is coming closer. That's a matter of fact. That's a rule. But you have to understand that the feeling of athletes are different. Even the range of distances is a bit closer, they, through the smaller suit, feel much more the disadvantage of external conditions. And including into that performance, you have to know that the takeoff forces, the daily performance of each athlete, is a bit more decisive now, and you have to calculate this into the distance as well. So, in reality, they may feel that the range of distance is coming apart, but we will see over the season whether they are right or not. So, again, let's see what happens.
And is it possible that now more speed is needed on the in-run in order to jump similar?
This is obviously, whenever you reduce something from the equipment, you need a bit more in-run speed to gain the same distance. This is obviously. But we started in Whistler at the first competition where every athlete has to adjust to the new system. We started with comparable competitions, Whistler last year and this year, with almost 4 km/h more in-run speed. At the end of the summer season in Klingenthal, we had reduced this gap to 2 km/h. And I do expect to keep a slightly change, that means a slightly increase of in-run speed, but I would say after the 4-hill tournament, when all the athletes are adjusted to the new system, we are more or less at the same speed as in the past. So maybe 1 kilometer difference. But as a matter of fact, in the air, once the athlete describes a parabolic curve, it's clear that in the falling phase, in the landing phase, they speed up.
Any more questions? If not, thank you everyone for participation tonight, and I guess everyone, you will have some time to stay for additional questions and one-on-one interviews. Yeah. Thanks everyone.